Так, мы продолжаем. Подготовка строительства дворца. Так, что приступим. Так, здравствуй.
Hi there.
Здравствуй.
Checking in, are we? You're just in time. We only have 2 rooms left.
Ага.
Since this was chosen as the building site for the new Jade Chamber, we've had a constant stream of people in this area. And not just workers either. So, business is booming for me today. Very few vacancies. You're lucky.
Great!
One of your rooms is still being cleaned. I guess it should be ready within the hour. The other room is just through the door on the left. Here are your keys. All right. Hope you enjoy your stay. Please
Shenhe, you should go get some rest. We'll hang around outside until the other room's ready. Paimon's gonna go see if there's anything good to eat around here. Paimon couldn't help but notice one of the guests walked in with a Let's buy one for Shenhe too. She can have it as a midnight snack.
All right. I will. If you need anything, don't hesitate to disturb me. I'm a light sleeper. I will hear if you knock on the door. See you tomorrow.
Hey! Isn't that Claveratina? What's she doing here? Let's go and say hi.
Ой, забираться. Забираться. Привет.
One trusts you have met Shenhe. So, are you getting along quite well?
А зачем дождь делать?
So far, so good. Yeah. So, you know Shenhe too?
Naturally. Save for Ganyu, who spends the majority of her time in Liyue Harbor. All the—
Cool. So, what's her Adeptus name? And calling her Shenhe feels kind of friendly, but also kind of disrespectful. So,
her Adeptus name. Why, pray tell, would Shenhe have—
don't all Adepti have a special title they go by?
On this latter point, you are correct. However, Shenhe is human.
Oh, right. Wait, what? What? You knew already? So is Paimon the only one who didn't know?
Do you mean to say that she presents differently from ordinary human beings?
Well, to start with, her problem-solving methods.
Ah, yes. She was like this all those years ago when one first found Shenhe by chance in a cave. One was passing by and sensed the presence. Inside was Shenhe, then aged around 6 years old. In her hand, she held a dagger with which she was confronting a monster.
That sounds so dangerous.
When one arrived, she had already been locked in confrontation with this monster for several days. Most mortal children are fragile, but that she was able to endure such terrible danger was due not only to her strong willpower, but all one dealt with the monster, yet she still refused to lower her guard. She even pointed her dagger in one's direction and remained ready to strike. Only after she was satisfied that one had no
In other words, if you hadn't passed by that day, Shenhe...
Not necessarily. Upon one's arrival, one could sense that the god's wrath was gradually receding, even had the stalemate continued.
That's still so dangerous, though. Why was a tiny little kid battling against the wrath of a god in the first place?
Alas, the mortal world is rife with suffering of every kind, and she had experienced her fair share of this. Indeed, it is one to whom she refers. Shenhe has an extraordinary constitution, making her well adapted to practicing the Adepti arts. However, her homicidal urges did not subside with age. Rather, they grew stronger. Mooncarver once performed a divination for her. He declared that her fate is to bear the curse of calamity. Consumed by malevolent energy, she is prone to bring harm to those around her. Such is the magnitude of the danger this poses. Red ropes have indeed served to keep her calmer and more content. They also seem to have rendered her some... It is only by fate that people's paths may cross. Now that Shenhe's path has crossed with yours, please be sure to treasure the gift that fate has given you. And
Oh, now Paimon gets it. You came out here to check up on Shenhe because you...
huh. You dare draw such a facile conclusion on the nature of one's present excursion? Incorrect. The truth is that while Liyue Harbor may seem... Ningguang once made a bold assertion that this is to be the era of the contract between Liyue and the humans. If she handles it admirably, one is willing to be a witness to her achievements. But if she... Let us conclude our conversation here for today. One has occupied enough of your time, and night is approaching.
So, Shenhe isn't an Adeptus after all. She just grew up around the Adepti.
Сколько? 8, да? Или сколько? Я не помню. Ай, блин. Да, 8.
Hey, so, Shenhe...
Master has relayed my situation to you, I take it.
Oh? How did you know?
I'd intended to wait until you came back before going to sleep, but I didn't hear you come in. I was worried that something may have happened to you. So I went outside to check it. On top of this, you have been acting very strangely around me this morning, causing me... After all, Master is...
Sorry, Shenhe. Paimon had you down as an Adeptus this whole time, but...
It's okay. I don't mind. The fault is mine for not explaining everything to you sooner, because in my experience, trying to explain is a futile pursuit. Still, though you mistook me for an Adeptus, you never treated me as distant and unapproachable. For this, I am very grateful indeed.
To be fair, we've met our fair share of real Adepti, too. Anyway, now it's settled. From now on, you're our friend. Whether you're an Adeptus or a human isn't the important thing.
Got it. Although I don't know quite what it entails in terms of what I have to do. I must...
Great! Well, now that we're all rested up, we should start searching for the other 2 items on the list. But before we do that, let's go to the building site and ask Ningguang's little helper how the... After all, Sunset Vermilionite is so rare. Paimon doubts many competitors will Oh, and another thing.
А, понял. Так.
Here's one for you, Shenhe. Try it! They're so good.
I concur. It has a rich flavor, far more agreeable than those I've cooked for myself in the wilderness in the past.
Вы тут чё, блин? Разруха.
Look! The Jade Chamber is floating into the
В
sky!
смысле уже
But it seems to be tied down by something.
держишь?
That's because it's not finished.
Hey, Bylin! And hey, Beto! And hey! Person Paimon doesn't know?
Given the enormous scale of the Jade Chamber, we split the construction work into 2 phases to make sure the structure remains balanced. Before we find some suitable plastrite, we build the Jade Chamber's keel at ground level. Once the plastrite is ready, we place it into the keel and let the partially constructed Jade Chamber rise up to the height of the surrounding mountain peaks. The remainder of the construction work is then carried out at that altitude. Once everything is ready, we release the iron tethers and allow the jade chamber to rise to its target altitude.
Miss Bywin, we've brought some new materials to submit.
One moment, I'll be right there. The construction work has only been able to progress this rapidly thanks to the plastrite provided by you. Lady Ningguang is most grateful and looks forward to seeing more of your work.
Wow, can't believe you sourced the plastrite so quickly. It's the key piece of the puzzle. Looks like you beat us to the...
Beto? You're joining the Jade Chamber
Sure am. I happened to get my hands on a chunk of sunset vermilionite on a voyage a while back, so I figured I'd bring it over.
Huh. So even though it's rare, we're not the only ones who managed to get a hold of...
Oh, I've got some introductions to do. This is the renowned Miss Yun, or Yunjin, probably the most famous figure in the Liyue opera scene.
Greetings.
These two are Paimon and the Traveler, both good buddies of mine. And this is... sorry,
Shenhe. I am their friend.
Good to meet you. A friend of a friend is my friend too. Or, as I like to say, a mate of a crewmate is part of the crew. Miss Yoon is also here for the contest. Turns out she needed to borrow a boat, so we came together.
It's an honor to finally meet you both. I've heard much about you. Miss Shenhe, though we are only meeting for the first time, I have a feeling that we will get along very well indeed.
Там была Шэньхэ, тут это, я вам пофиг.
To be honest with you all, I am in great need of this opportunity to ask Lady Ningguang a question. That's why I joined the contest. Thanks to my father's connections, I was able to acquire a Wow! So it looks like the three of us are... Excuse me for prying, Miss Shenhe, but are you competing as well?
No, I don't have any questions for Ningguang. I just wanted to help him win.
In that case, I have a proposal to make. Lady Ningguang said that the first 3 contestants to procure all 3 materials will be awarded the chance to ask a question. Well, there are 3 teams here. We can split the prize between us. Instead of competing against each other, we could work together to secure the top 3 places between us. Sounds great, but how does that change things exactly?
I think I see where you're going with this. The plastrite was the most difficult item to source by a long shot. Luckily, all 3 of us managed to get our hands on it. The 2 remaining items aren't... How'd I do? Is that what you had in mind?
Precisely.
Huh. Interesting.
Okay then. All right, I'll go first. I have some leads on these wonder cores. From what I've heard, the core itself is really not that difficult to make. The hard part is getting hold of the...
We will head into town and seek advice from Master Zhang of Hanfeng's Ironmongers. Thoughts?
Wonderful. We'll split into teams then, and whoever makes progress first brings all of us a step closer to victory. I'm gonna take off. See you later.
Okay, let's go! By the way, what question are you gonna ask Ningguang Yunjin? I'm looking for a venue to host the performance of our new opera. Lady Ningguang has Ooh, what's the opera called? The opera is a labor of love by my father. He wrote it based on a popular urban legend about an evil spirit and an adeptus. It's called The Divine Damsel of Devastation.
Я не увидел, если это Шанхэ, конечно. А куда? Извините. Понял. Чем занят? Ну, в принципе, можно. Это не обязательно. Ой, блин. Что это вообще создание? А, это что ли? Так. Купил загруженный. Да, это оно. Так. Привет. Поскольку это неинтересно, давай скипать можно. Скипать, наверное, буду все-таки. Сам это так уж надо. Так. Все, скипнули. Пошли дальше. Так я вот не пойму, а смысл? А, типа. Я таки не понял смысл этого выполнения, если он даже к этому не причастен.
Ah, hello. Are you here for something off the shelf, or do you need something forged?
Excuse me, Master Zhang. We were wondering if you'd heard of something called...
Of course I have. Sorry,
My name is Yunjin. Perhaps you don't know me, but I believe that you forged some
Yunjin? Stage use? Oh, so you... Sorry. My brain's finally caught up. It's not used to doing much beyond bashing a hammer. So, you're here to ask about wonder cores, huh? As it happens, I do know how to make them. Matter of fact, I made some for Lady Ning. The types of ore needed to make wonder cores are a little hard to come by. Lady Ningguang supplied them herself last time.
No, we were gonna ask you what kinds of ore we need.
Sure. Well, you'll need two kinds. Star Splinter Iron and Subrosium. If I remember correctly, Lady Ningguang sourced her Star Splinter Iron from the Mount Tianheng area. They say it resonates with visions. It could take some work, but if you stick with it, you'll find some eventually. As for the Subrosium, though, I'm really not sure. Sorry. What I've heard is that the people around Mount Tianheng have some sort of... Of course, it's probably just hearsay. If you want my advice, start by looking for Star Splinter Iron around Mount Tianheng. And if you...
Mount Tianheng.
Interestingly enough, the story of the divine damsel of devastation, I hear the view there is quite spectacular. A favorite destination of the adept. Perhaps it can give me some inspiration. Let's not delay.
Нормально. Да, гора, я так понял. Ну да. Гора. Элементы. То быстро, то медленно грузится. Я не пойму, загрузка тут что-то.
I came to Mount Tianheng once with my father as a child. I remember it being such a long climb that I could barely feel my legs by the time we reached the top. This is quite a trip down memory lane for me. Look at these majestic, towering peaks. No wonder the legend of the divine damsel of devastation is said to have taken place here. The divine damsel of devastation is your upcoming opera, right? And the story takes place in Mount Tianheng. What's the story about, though? It's the story of a girl becoming a hero. Cool! A hero story? They're Paimon's favorite! The legend first arose in this area. It is said that there used to be a prosperous village on the mountain. In that village, there was a loving couple who were completely devoted to one another. The wife was out collecting herbs and was captured by the monster. Her husband was so distraught at the news that the vile and vicious monster told the villagers, "If you want to live, you must sacrifice a child to me." What a nasty piece of work! Paimon sure hopes this monster gets put in its place! But the monster was so terrible and so strong that all within the village were terrified of it. Just while they were discussing whose child would be given over to the monster, a little girl suddenly stood up and... No! Don't do it, little girl! Unbeknownst to anybody else, she was concealing an exorcist's blade. she approached the monster's lair, feigning fear and trepidation. When she finally arrived, she courageously drew her sword. Her extraordinary abilities drew the attention of the Adepti, and they took her as one of their own. Her story became the stuff of legends. But alas, the paths of mortals and Adepti, and so, destined to grace the mortal realm for but a brief moment, she vanished like a wisp of smoke into thin air.
I really like this story. But I personally think that perhaps the little girl was... I'm not sure she deserves all the praise she is given.
I've never considered that before. Opera is always an interpretation of the events it purports to portray. When my father wrote the script for this play, I suppose his intention was to inspire his audience with the character of the divine damsel.
I think it's a great story.
Well, it sure inspired Paimon! Let's go get ourselves some stars!
Так, мне отключиться надо. Так, я вернулся. Так. О, да. Ну, это надо. Не получится забраться. Где руда? Это оно? Ага. Да блин. Что тут есть он? Ой, серьезно. О, ну еще.
There should be enough star sponge or iron. Now we just need to find that Subrosium.
Куда?
I think I saw a village on our way here. Master Zhong said we should ask the locals for help. Why don't we try there? Hey, there really is someone here. Yunjin, looks like you were right. Excuse us, sir. Can we ask you something? Huh. He didn't seem to catch that. Hello, sir. We were just passing by and wanted to ask if you happen... Is he trying to tell us to look for clues in the village? Well, whatever. Shenhua, Yunjin, let's have a...
Sorry, you can go ahead without me. I'd like to have a word with this gentleman. If that's okay with you, Uncle Mingjin.
It's...
Shenhe.
Shenhe. You're alive. I'm sorry, I don't know how to find Subrosium, but I think you can find some information in the village. This place is deserted now. No one ever comes here. So you can rummage around all you want.
Huh? You know this guy, Shenhua? Thank you, kind sir. We'll go and take a look around. Don't worry. Mingjun has no ill intention towards Miss Shenhe. She'll be quite safe. Okay. Then let's see what we can find
А
in this
ты
village.
откуда знаешь?
The remains of a god, an abandoned village, Mount Tianheng. Does this mean that the true story of the divine damsel of the time frame certainly matches? So it seems we're in the right area. What's this?
О, класс.
So, Shenhe is the divine damsel?
Ну, было логично.
Now that I think about it, she does behave rather like an adeptus. And so that's why I've been getting the strangest feeling whenever I chat with her. I should have noticed it earlier. According to this text, the divine... And she didn't volunteer. She was sacrificed. Oh, the truth is even more lamentable than the opera. Now I understand why Shenhe said the girl was not as brave as people think. Oh, it looks like my father may need to make a few revisions to his book. We've looked everywhere, but still no mention of Sabrosium.
А еще
Let's have a look over there.
дойти-то. Что тут?
This is it. So basically, we need to go to the middle of the lake south of Mount Tianheng. Let's go back and tell Shenhe.
One year when I was back visiting, I heard a story about a white-haired adeptus from a merchant passing by. I was a very close friend of your father's. I could have stopped him from performing the summoning ritual. I had plenty of chances, but I couldn't bring myself to stand up. I bring flowers back here every year. And each time I wish I had a chance to apologize.
Apologize for what? If you'd stopped him, he'd only have found another way. There is nothing he wouldn't have done for his true love. Nothing.
Do you still hate him?
I don't know what I feel. I'm told my fate is to bear the curse of calamity, so my master bound my soul with red ropes to curb my aggression. But it also dampened my emotions, making me dispassionate. So if you ask me how I feel about the past, if I hate my father or not, the truth is, I feel nothing.
It must have been so tough for you all these years.
Shenhe, we're back!
С другой стороны.
Oh, then I will leave you all in peace. Shenhe, I'll tell you more about the old times next time we meet.
Thanks, mister. We found some info in the end. Shenhe, look. This tells us how to find Sabrosium.
Let's go then.
Miss Shenhe, there's something I'd like to talk to you about. Just now, in the village, we found your father's diary. It turns out...
Why?
I know I say that opera always deviates from the truth, but now that the main character is standing right here in front of me, I cannot simply dismiss your lived experience.
It's okay. I like your version.
But,
My master once said that the day I learn how to use my strength for the good of others is the day that I can truly be. So, I hope that one day I might be brave enough to stand up and protect. But I've never thought this way before, and I wonder whether I will continue to.
Don't worry. I believe, in fact, I think maybe you've already started to become the person. Shenhua! Yunjin! Cut the chit-chat! We can't let someone else beat us to it!
Статуя, да. И статуя. 17, 15. Так сидит. Стой. Не понял. То есть мне типа самому дойти надо? Я не понял. Да, все. Солнце уже ушло. А, понял. Так как же вы... А кто зовут? Сяо? Сяо. Ну, Сяо. Засранец. А, вот и все. Вот и Сяо. Привет, Сяо. Наверное. Все. Блин, ну мне снова. Кто ж так делает? Ладно. Бля, в центр. Выносливости нету. Ничего нету. А, кто что? Снова просто выносливость. Да, угадай. Ну и время еще, да. Ой, издевательство. Просто. Куда? Ну и чё? Ну блин. Чё еще? 17, 17:42, ну. Сяо. Занимайся, да.
Best flavor
Ну
in the
чё за
world. The
логика, ё-моё.
sweet taste of
Когда он
victory.
будет свободным?
And that's why I've never spent a single more on any of my snacks. I've won them all, fair and square.
Я не понял.
That's right.
Ладно. Кто здесь?
Attaboy!
Подожди. Ты вот все не сяхал. Ну-ка. Давайте третья. Локи все должен. Вся типа ушел. Так что по Локи должен все. Надеюсь, все. Так, Сяо. Так, ну. Вроде все.
That's everything we need! Let's head back and report in! Paimon's curious if Beto's made any progress.
What brings you here? Have they found a solution to the danger in the sea? Ningguang didn't tell you. Something has happened in Guyan Stone Forest. But these things can be unpredictable. I have only a single mountain lies between here and if things get out of control, I will defend this place.
И ради... Какой смысл тогда? Сяо. Убью. И ради этого я проходил ту хрень, да? Ну да.
Oh, goodness.
So,
This is some top quality ore you found. I think I'll get a good end. Guess now it's my time to shine.
Hey everyone, how's the A-team doing? I ran into a bit of a brick wall on my end. Suling's never seen a Wonder Core before, and says it'd take a lot of research for—
Leave the Wonder Cores to me. I'll work on them while you go about your business. Don't worry. It won't take me too long.
Much obliged, Master Zhang. We should look into the Adepti sigils next. But where should we find items relating to the Adepti?
I'll sort that out.
Oh? Hugo?
Yes. I have been training with the Adepti for years. I know a thing or two about me. When we first met, I told you I came for the Jade Chamber, not the contest. In fact, I came specifically to deliver Adepti sigils. Master heard that Ningguang was planning to rebuild the Jade Chamber, so she sent me to deliver some. Master also said she hoped that I can take this opportunity to rejoin human society. But now that I'm here, I wonder if I've been removed from the world for too long. Maybe it won't work for me to stay here after all. But either way,
Without knowing the ins and outs of your situation, I can't say whether you should stay or not. But now that our paths have crossed, we'll always have a connection. So if you're ever feeling down, come find me on my ship. There'll be a drink waiting for you.
thank you. So, Master Zhang, I'll need to use your facilities to make the sigils.
Fine by me. I'm actually curious to see how the Adepti arts work.
Whew. The sigils are ready. Though they are in some respects inferior to my master's.
I've finished forging the things you asked for, too.
Great! Let's go submit them before someone else gets there ahead of us.
Я дрочу, есть. Этот самый талисман. Ну, я думаю, отсюда. Нет, отсюда. Наверх или вниз? Нельзя. Ё-моё. Помню, ничем не отличается от старого. Прикольно выглядит. Так вот бы, если бы прогрузка нормальная была, а не как... Или, подождите. Да, это прогрузка. Почему такая прогрузка хреновая? У меня все новое. Почему-то Genshin говорит такие... Несмотря на то, что у меня вроде все нормально.
Oh, already? All three of you found them together. Okay. The Wonder Cores and Adepti sigils look good. It seems that we found our... I hereby announce that the winners of this material procurement contest are the Traveler, Yunjin, and Beidou.
What? It's over already? I haven't even found the prostrate yet!
I can't believe it. So close, but so far.
I'd like to invite our three winners to please proceed to the Jade Chamber, where Lady Ningguang is waiting.
Huh? Where's Beidou? She was right here.
Captain
No, no,
Beidou
no,
has
no.
some business to attend to. She will join later. Please come with me for now.
Я думал, она уже
Alright
это...
then, guess we'll head on up to the Jade Chamber first. This has been a long time coming. The last time
Давай, я скилл. Не... Что это?
Combine the Adepti sigils with the Wonder Cores and insert them into the Jade Chamber's control compartment. The construction of the new Jade Chamber is now officially complete. Once the tethers are released, it will soar into the sky. Thank you all for your work. Now,
Yeah!
Miss Yun, I've already heard something about the reason for your involvement. You are looking...
That's right. Lady Ningguang, I would like to hear your opinion.
The unveiling of Miss Yoon's grand new opera surely requires a venue of equal grandeur. So what would you say if I proposed that we
Ё-моё.
stage your first
Прям
performance
тут.
right here? The Jade Chamber offers a splendid panoramic view of the mountains and the bustling city. It is fitting for the finest performance to be hosted in the heavens.
Thank you, Lady Ningguang. Then I will prepare my props and other articles shortly. Please allow me to bring all these
You're quite welcome. It's truly what a good opera deserves.
A traveler, Shenhe, Paimon, I'll be leaving now. Do come and see my play when the time comes.
You're next. What is your question? I should clarify. I do not know your sister's whereabouts. Please.
Wow, you're a mind reader, Ningguang. Oh well, guess Paimon will ask a question then.
Managing a successful business is not as simple as you might think. Capital, connections, sensitivity to the trends, an instinct for what is a good opportunity. All of the... If you want to know how to make money, I will honor our agreement and give you an answer. But that is not to say...
Wow, Paimon hadn't even asked the question yet.
Your question was written all over your face. Now look, you helped me rebuild the Jade Chamber, and I intend to repay you. So I promise you that should you one day require financial assistance, you may seek employment here. I will pay you at the highest rate of remuneration.
Ой.
Oh, great! So next time we run out of Moro, we just need to come to Ningguang?
Paimon сразу. Оп, готово.
No more questions from us. Shenhe, you got a question?
Me?
Yes, this is a group effort.
Thank you. But I don't have anything to ask.
Are you sure? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. I'd urge you not to squander it.
Yeah, just don't waste it. Hold on a second. Paimon can probably think of another one.
Lady Ningguang, do you think I can ever fit in Liyue Harbor?
Now that is an interesting question. Liyue Harbor is very inclusive. As long as you respect the rules here, you will not be turned away. So, the key is whether or not you yourself can develop a sense of belonging in Liyue Harbor.
Oh, a sense of belonging.
Yes. To become fond of a place, to feel part of it. Perhaps someone you've met, or something you've experienced here. Or perhaps you enjoy the atmosphere of Liyue, and you will become accustomed to it. In short, everyone needs a reason to stay. I hope you can...
I see.
Hey, what's going on? I just went to see the fleet a little later than expected.
Come on, Beidou, it's your turn. Do you have a question for Ningguang?
Me? Nah, I ain't got any questions. She forced me to help out, so I figured I may as well get involved with the contest. Ningguang, don't forget what we talked about.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be easy to deal with. I don't think my fleet can take it on their own.
Don't worry. I have made preparations. The wound dressings are ready, and the Millilith have set up an ambush.
Glad to hear it. Watch your back. Stay alert.
Beidou, Ningguang, what are you talking about?
You'll see when the Jade Chamber ascends. However, it's not the most pleasant topic of conversation. Maybe it's... When I first set foot in the Jade Chamber, I stood at the edge of the platform and looked down upon Liyue Harbor far below. At that time, I dreamed that one day the Jade Chamber's shadow would be seen in all 7 nations of Teyvat. My wish has not changed to this very day. However, it is not only out of consideration for myself that I have built. I hope the Jade Chamber will always float in the skies above Liyue Harbor, bearing witness to the prosperity, and I hope that you can all witness it with me. Let the Ascension ceremony commence!
А.
Right on cue. The Avenger of the Vortex, Beisht.
Who is that?
Osial's wife. Final follower of the Overlord of the Vortex.
Sounds like you knew this was coming.
Beto sensed something was stirring in the deep. She warned me months ago. Knowing she harbors hatred toward the Jade Chamber, I chose to rebuild it now as a way of drawing her out.
Got it. Well, let's go fetch the Adepti.
No.
Huh?
In this human age, the people of Liyue must find a way to overcome this crisis on our strength alone!
What's that? Wait! A giant wave!
You are a cursed child. Your life brings nothing but disaster to us all. At least if you die, I can bring her back.
The day you learn how to use your strength for the good of others is the day that you can truly become part of human society.
Эпик. Что, мы сражаться с ним будем, что ли? Аж долго крутит. Давай.
What are you doing here?
We can't let you be the only one taking this risk.
I hardly see this as a great risk. The people of Liyue Harbor are well prepared. And she's already badly injured. Only sheer willpower is keeping her alive. I may be nearing the end of my stamina, but in a fight to the death, I think I have the upper hand.
Понял. В смысле ты что? Ёп.
Manifest! Obey!
Типа одна все. Да, нырнул. Это вот.
Transfiguration! Transfiguration! My will embodied!
Ах ты засранец, тоже, да?
Do your master's bidding! My will embodied! Transfiguration!
Еще вторая падает.
Transfiguration! Time for a light show!
Да, вообще ничего не делает. Хватает.
Feeble! My will embodied! My will embodied!
Не нужно. Нет.
Shouldn't we go after her?
This place is unstable. It is too risky to continue pursuing her. If the place collapsed, the consequences would be disastrous. Let's head back.
Сундука нет,
I'm just a little exhausted. I wanted to deal with it myself. I didn't expect you to follow me. Don't worry. She's not coming back anytime soon. After an injury like that, she'll likely seek refuge somewhere else.
How did things go underwater?
It's been dealt with. She was injured before entering the water. It didn't take too much effort to finish the job.
Good. So the crisis has been safely averted. When you visit the Jade Chamber in the future...
Lady Ningguang, the fleet reports that the sea monster has left Guyan Stone Forest and the surrounding waters have returned to normal.
Thank you. How are the Millilith?
Thanks to the medical supplies you prepared and Lady Keqing's command, our losses were minimal. Of course, we owe huge thanks to this young lady for her help. On behalf of the entire Millilith, thank you for your service.
Great. Then next time I watch Miss Yun's opera, I'll be able to take the compliments. I wasn't trying to be a hero, though. I just wanted to protect you.
Let the soldiers recuperate, but don't let your guard down. If she returns with a vengeance, we—
Yes, ma'am.
You've been monitoring us for some time now. I trust you've reached a conclusion.
You wish to hear one's opinion. Well, things would have hardly gone so smoothly had it not been for Shenhe.
That I do not deny. However, final victory was always going to be ours, even had things been a little more arduous. If it came to it, I could always destroy another Jade Chamber.
One has observed your adaptation of the Guizhong ballista, and find oneself compelled to admit that you have evidenced some degree of novelty. You have learned from past failures and prepared for this crisis in advance. This is hence on balance. One finds your performance during this trial satisfactory enough, but there will
While the position of Tianquan remains mine, I will always ensure Liyue's safety.
Shenhe, one saw you secretly venture out from the mountains a few years ago, and noticed the air of dejection. Hopefully this trip to Liyue Harbor has been a different experience.
Yes. I can't explain it, but I feel happier than I expected.
Good. Traveler, please take good care of Shenhe. In fact, one has many fond memories of Shenhe's
Не
childhood
надо, не
that you may
надо.
be interested to hear about.
There'll be no need for that.
Oh. They are all like this. Fine. Since you care not to listen, one shan't be telling you.
Please, have a good rest. Come to the Jade Chamber when you have recovered. We must celebrate both the completion of the Jade Chamber and the fact that Liyue has weathered another crisis. This...
Wow! Everyone's already seated! It's Paimon's first time attending a banquet in the Jade Chamber.
All of you here are my distinguished guests. I am determined that each of you, those who don't drink alcohol, please, help yourself to other beverages. Fine wine is a delight to the senses, but it is far from the only one.
Have you heard? Miss Yun's going to be performing today.
Sure have. Honestly, it's the main reason I'm here. I've never missed any of Miss Yun's. I hear she's going to perform the Divine Damsel of Devastation today.
Hey, look! Miss Yun is going on stage!
惯，到这里本该接近尾声，但今日我再添一笔，唱与诸位听。彼时鹤归，茫茫天地无依靠，孤身离去。今日再会，新朋旧友坐满堂，共聚此时。
What did you think? Personally, I thought I sang rather well. It was beautiful. Paimon wants to learn too.
It was wonderful. Also,
You're welcome. Thanks to you, the Divine Damsel of Devastation is a more nuanced The play has an ending, but life goes on. I believe you will find a way to...
thank you. I think I've found the opportunity I needed to change.
Ms. Yun, here you are, huh? Hey, this young lady with the white hair looks like some kind of VIP. Yeah, wait. You're the girl from the opera, aren't you? The Divine Damsel herself. And look who else we have here, the illustrious traveler. Well, I'll be. Let me pull up a chair, all right. We'll all have a friendly chat, get better acquainted.
Alternatively, you could leave us alone. That is, if you'd prefer to finish your drink via the orifice of your own choice.
Uh-oh, this feels all too familiar. Shenhe's back to her old self again.
Hey, what are you doing?
Calm down, Shenhe.
Ё-моё, это шо? А, это ивент. Это же ивент, да? Ивент. Ну шо, мы закончили сюжетку с дворцом. Ну, в следующий раз, в принципе, к ивенту приступим. Так что, всем пока-пока, до скорых встреч.